Hello DevOps friends, I'm Jochen, the Monospace Mentor. Welcome! It's my birthday and I thought, well, since I'm in control of my schedule, why not do a live stream? I haven't done many live streams lately, only my course live streams, and even those were few and far between since the Christmas break. And so, yeah, I thought, let's do a live stream. I would like to add another service to my community platform, and that's going to be an IRC server. And so that's what we're going to set up today. How is everyone? RJ joining us. Great to see you too, RJ. Welcome. Nice that you're stopping by. Yeah, so IRC. Is that something you've even heard of? Because it's old, just like me. IRC, Internet Relay Chat, was basically the first internet-wide chat service that was available in the 80s, I think. And so that's when IRC came about, and it's never gone away. It's, of course, was pushed into the background by more modern, more graphical, more web-based services. But I mean, Discord is a great example of how services that you are not in control of yourself are always a risk to use. And with Discord probably getting more and more commercial over time, and now introducing identity checks and face recognition and things like that, I thought, yeah, it's a good idea that I already have an IRC channel in place that gets bridged to our Discord server. At the moment, we are on Libera Chat with our channel, The Server Room. And since I'd like to get rid of our Discord server completely in the near future, I thought, yeah, let's set up an IRC server where we can have multiple channels. I don't want to crowd Libera Chat, that's not what it's for. And I would love to have multiple channels, not only a chat channel, but also an announcement channel, or a feed channel where stuff gets posted automatically from my blog and my Mastodon account, things like that. So having multiple channels is useful, and the best way to get multiple channels on your own chat service is to have your own chat service. And so today I'm going to use a great tutorial written by Adam Newbold of omg.lol fame. Adam wrote a great tutorial on setting up your own IRC server based on his experience setting up his own IRC server. I am on the irc.omg.lol server as well, because I'm a paying member of the community there. And it's a lot of fun to chat old school from my terminal. Of course, there are graphical IRC clients nowadays too, but I prefer to have just a Tmux window where I can join the chat and switch over while I'm working if I want to. And yeah, I'm going to use this tutorial to set up IRC on my own VPS. And what's also nice is that Adam also described how to set up a web-based IRC client, which is, of course, going to make it easier for people to join the server. Hey, Moo, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. So having a web-based client makes it easier because people don't have to set up their own client. So lowering the barrier is always a great thing. Fragberg joining us as well. Mr. Bikerman, how you doing? So welcome to my birthday stream. And yeah. Shall we get started? Let's go. So here's the tutorial that Adam posted, and I'll share it with you. Frackberg has a sinus infection. That's not great. Get better soon, mate. So I'm going to post the URL of the... Thank you. So that got pasted posted 3 times because I'm streaming on 3 different channels. So I'm going to follow this tutorial, and so let's get started. I scrolled past all the preliminary setup of a VPS and setting up DNS and stuff. That's already done. And so I'm going to go right into updating the OS. Adam has based his tutorial on Debian. Mine runs Fedora. RJ asks, where else are you streaming? That is a risky question. Or it's risky to answer it because I think there's a terms of service thingy. You know what? Let's go to my website, blog and more, live stream. And let's post that too. Maybe I should set up a command for that. All right, so Adam described the IRC setup in a great way. It's really, really beginner friendly, and including automatic system updates is a great idea, especially for people who aren't really familiar with the system and are maybe just getting started using their own Linux system, and giving them a hint how to keep their system updated is definitely a good thing. Frackback says, so we had a rapid warm-up in the weather where I live. Tomorrow we're supposed to have severe thunderstorms. Tomorrow is also my 21st wedding anniversary. Nice. Trying not to take it as a sign. Thunder and lightning. The weather here in Ireland is absolute shite. I can't remember having weather as terrible as it has been for weeks now, ever since I moved over here. So for the last 3 weeks or so, it's been almost constant rain and wind. There was one day, I think was it Sunday or Monday? I think it was Monday, yeah, where we had sunshine and I could actually see parts of a blue sky. But other than that, it's cloudy. If it's not just raining, it's not raining at the moment, but it has been raining this morning, and it's all abysmal, and it's really dreary outside, and yeah, I'd really have to force myself to go outside. Thankfully, I don't have to. Entertainingly, the day I got married, it snowed like 8 inches back 20 years ago. 8 inches. So yeah, I guess it was a challenge to get from place to place with your wedding company. Okay, so that's actually a good question. I mean, I'm running a Fedora variant on my workstation. I'm running Bluefin, and everyone who's been who's watched my streams or is part of my community knows I'm always singing the praises of Bluefin, because and one of the things that it really does greatly is that it does auto updates in the background, and so I haven't had to take care of that on my workstations. On this server, which is my first Fedora-based server, I haven't enabled auto updates, and I've been doing them manually. So that raises the question, is there even an unattended upgrade mechanism as there is in Debian and in consequence in Ubuntu as well? Fedora unattended upgrades. Let's see if there is a similar mechanism. There is DNF automatic. Download and install any new updates. Cool. Just to familiarize myself with the landscape, I assume most of the stuff... No, there isn't. Oh, of course there isn't. I need to use Podman. Yeah, I think all the services... Yes, all the services that I'm running already on this VPS are based on Podman. So that's a thing that makes upgrading a system super easy. Because as you can see up here, I'm running Fedora Linux 43. And I've just upgraded this server from Fedora 41 a few days ago, a week ago or something. And that was easy as hell, because I almost have no non-system packages installed, because everything that's running on the operating system is running in Podman as containers. So I don't have to worry about those. And that's going to make it really easy and riskless to enable unattended upgrades, because I don't have to fear that, for example, it'll install a package update that has a breaking change, say in configuration syntax or something, and suddenly my services aren't running anymore. Since these services are isolated, you could even say contained separately from the operating system, that's nothing I have to worry about. So I'm actually going to set unattended upgrades up. That just takes work off my hands and makes things easier for myself. Youthra Clintalk says, well, we found the front of our house flat roof is actually rotted and now letting water in. That is not good. Hopefully you'll get that sorted soon. Oh, that is absolutely crap. Water, dampness, that's not good. So many houses here in Ireland are suffering from leaky roofs and stuff, and when you actually visit people, you can smell the dampness and the mold. That's something that you need to take care of. Instantly, Sam Linux joining us. Hello, how you doing? Yeah, the Fedora docs. I am going to set up IRC on my VPS, and the tutorial for the IRC server is great. And before it even gets into the IRC specifics, it tells you to install automatic upgrades, and that is actually a great advice. So I'm going to do that. Sam says, you don't know how much I hate that Fedora docs changed all text edit commands to nano. Oh, did they? Did they? Yes, I can see it myself. So they tell people, well, I can see why they did that. What was it before? What would you prefer? So yeah, let me install the automatic plugin, and let's also take care of its configuration. There isn't any conf that would already exist. Am I supposed to create that? Let me see. By default, DNF automatic runs from the configurations in the etc DNF automatic conf file, but that file doesn't exist. Did something come with the plugin package? etc DNF automatic conf. Maybe let's go into root mode. etc DNF. Wait a second. There's no automatic conf, even though the package was installed. Me confused. That is strange. Sam Linux says they switched to Nano by default in Fedora 33, but I'm a Vim guy. Me too. But I don't think it's a wise decision to not force people into Vim when they follow a tutorial. You lead them to Vim eventually, but maybe not rush this too much. Can anyone explain to me why the automatic.conf is part of the package but not there? I wouldn't be surprised if it chose not to overwrite an existing file with the package contents, but there isn't a file in the first place. And that is strange to me. And so I'm not sure if I'm missing something because of the missing file. And the other automatic conf in DNF5 plugins isn't there either. DNF automatic is installed, the binary. Why didn't it create the file? Well, I'm not going to do an automatic reboot. I'd like to be in control of when that happens, but I guess I'll simply create that file, automatic.conf, apply updates true, And let's start and enable the DNF automatic timer. That is active, and it's going to run in 14 hours. Okay. All right. So, back to the tutorial. Shot of Code says IRC, nice. Yep, we are getting our own IRC server. And by we, I mean the community that I'm running called the Server Room. The Server Room is a DevOps community of practice where we support each other, getting deeper into system administration, DevOps, and all that stuff. And we do all kinds of community stuff there, like monthly hangouts, but also I'm also running cohort-based and instructor-led courses there. Short of Code, for example, is taking part in the currently running course Basic Linux System Administration. And that's what we're going to do today. Some system administration setting up IRC. Okay, so let's do this. We have taken care of system updates. I have my own user account. SSH is set up as it should be. Now we're getting into the finer things. Install the stuff. So we are supposed to install Caddy and Ergo, which is an IRC server. And that raised the question, as I just said earlier, we are running all our services as Podman services so far. And question is, will I deviate from that? We'll have to do a little bit of research there. I'm not running Caddy as my web front end. I'm running Nginx Proxy Manager at the moment. And I think we'll be able to use that for IRC too. I'll just have to add additional ports for this container. And that shouldn't be a problem because everything is in here. Yep, Nginx PM is a Kubernetes manifest that I'm defining here. So we'll just add the additional ports and that should take care of things. Everything else is going to happen in the graphical UI. And then the question is there a container image for Ergo? Let's find out. Ergo IRC server. Shot of Code says, I'm watching carefully while doing 3 other things. Attention deficits for the win. The cohort course is worth it and the community is even more so. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I really appreciate that. Okay, now, I'm actually not familiar with Ergo. I've dabbled with IRCD in the past, which is the probably one of the veteran implementations of IRC. Ergo does have IRC v3 support, which probably also includes chat history and backlog, so you can rejoin an IRC server and actually get access to the chat history that happened while you were away, which is a really, really useful feature that IRC did not have before version 3. Admin manual? How about taking a look at the admin manual? There we go. Installing macOS Linux, Raspberry Pi, Docker, pull the latest version of Ergo, Docker pull, Ergo chat. They have an official Docker image. That is amazing. And all we'll have to do is to also have a volume Ergo data, and then we'll just bind IRC and IRC S ports to the container. RJ asks, will this be a VOD? I have to go. Yes, it will. I'll leave the VODs online, and you can watch that later, especially on YouTube, because they'll keep the VOD around for longer. Forever, I guess. And have a nice day, RJ. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so we can run Ergo as a container, and I think I'll just launch it like a normal as a container unit, not as a kube unit. As you can see, I'm running cut with a Kubernetes manifest, and I'm running Nginx Proxy Manager with a Kubernetes manifest. But for a service as simple as Ergo, I think the container unit is sufficient. Xemlix says it looks like there is a change in DNF automatic. The documentation looks like it's for DNF 4. In DNF 5 it could be different. Let me take a look at that. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks for that. If there's anything that I need to do differently, let me know. Because of course, yeah, it did install the DNF 5 version. Maybe the docs that I got were outdated. Now, let's see. Getting that Docker container up shouldn't be a huge problem. We'll get there quickly. I think it makes sense to read ahead a little bit about becoming an operator, though. Many administrative actions perform inbound as IRC commands sent from a client. IRC operator, of course. Easiest way to become an operator is to first pick a strong, secure password and hash it using the ergo gen password command. Then copy the resulting hash into the oppers section of your IRC-D YAML file. Then you can become an operator by issuing the IRC command /opper admin and the password. Okay, operator defined in the default configuration file is named admin and has full administrative privileges. Yeah, so I guess. Yeah, okay. So we'll already have an admin account. We'll just have to supply it with a password. I see. What's rehashing? The primary way of configuring Ergo is by modifying the configuration file. Can be applied at runtime by rehashing, i.e. reloading the configuration file. That's nice. And I can do that with another IRC command right from my client. Okay, that's cool. Frogberg's leaving for his daily stand-up. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good meeting. RJ says, potentially missed your answer. Yes, the VODs will be online, especially YouTube will keep them around forever. And Indrak is joining us as well. Has been a while. Just want to say hi and wish everyone a good day. Thank you. Thank you. It's my birthday today, so I'm happy to see all of you stopping by. Welcome to the party. It's a DevOps party, so it involves terminals and browsers. I'll keep the cake for myself. Now, I guess let's build a container. Let me take a peek into my MetaBridge file. I'm not sure if there's a password in there, so I'll hide this quickly just to be sure if I can go and... Okay, that's absolutely not a problem. So let's copy MetaBridge container to ergo.container. And we'll modify that. The container name is going to be ergo. I don't think... we'll leave that as it is. The image is going to be ergo chat / oh, we need the registry as well. GitHub container registry.io /ergo chat / ergo stable. And we'll need a volume, and I'll leave that in the file system. That makes it easier to make changes to configuration files and stuff. So that's going to be our service ergo data, and that's going to go to /ircd. We'll also have to map ports, and I actually don't remember how that's defined in these systemd units. So let's quickly search for that. Quadlet ports definition. Let's search for ports. Expose host ports? No, that's not what I want. Oops, what did I do? Publish port. Yes, that's what I want to do. And the form is host port, container port, but they'll be symmetrical anyway. So let's go back to the docs. XAMLinux is back with updates on DNF Automatic. Apparently default config file is user share DNF5, DNF5 plugins automatic.conf, but the host specific then applied. That's official man page content. Maybe you should check both files. So if the file is non-existent by default, does that mean DNF5 is going to merge settings? So you can have a minimal etc DNF automatic conf and the rest is determined by the one in user share? Or do I have to copy the one from user share to have everything? Let me take a look. So I'm in Vim here, and just for my course participants, I'm going to use the process suspension feature by pressing Ctrl Z, which gets me back into the shell because the Vim process got stopped, as you can see. And that way I can actually take a look at user share DNF5 plugins. No, DNF5 /DNF5 plugins automatic.conf. Okay, there is a lot of stuff in there. Commands, apply updates, no, download updates, yes. Okay, so it will auto download updates by default, which is already nice. So upgrades will at least be quicker because downloads don't have to happen anymore. But if you have them auto apply, that also works. So what I think I'll need is apply updates equals yes and download updates. You know what? Everything there is commented out anyway. So I'll copy that. by pressing escape and then period, I can get the argument of the previous command back, and I'll copy that to etc dnf automatic.conf. Yes, please overwrite, and we'll then edit that and say you can apply updates, because yeah, I'm not really worried about that. Default update, all available. Root reboot never, that's good. Because if something goes bad, I don't want to only find out later. And we keep everything else as it is. That should do the trick. Now, back to our setup. I already forgot. Publish port equals. Okay, so what we need, let's go into, no. I can now just return to the stopped Vim container by putting it back into the foreground with the fg command. And we're back in there. And that is that part of the service? Or no, it's container. It's part of the container setting. So publish port equals, and we'll have to map 6667 on the host to 6667 of the container, and the same goes for the TLS variant, 6697 to 6690. Is it 97? Yeah, I swapped those. Nope. Okay, that's that. We did define the volume. Yeah, that should actually do it. However, there's a specific Docker tutorial here as well. So let's see how this works. Docker run init name ergo. That's the run thing. And first time ergo runs, it will create a config file. Okay. With a randomized upper password. That's fine with me. I'm using a password manager, so I can use that. Output is the standard out, and you can view it with docker logs command. And then we'll see upper username password is admin and then the password. Cool. Persisting data. Ergo has persistent data store. Of course, it needs to store user accounts and things. For example, to create a new Docker volume and then mount it. That's just getting mounted to IRCD. Okay. We've already managed that. Customizing the config is stored at RCD YAML. I guess that'll then end up in our volume directory, so we can edit that later. Using custom TLS certificates. Oh yeah, that's something that we'll have to set up. I guess we'll use certbot to get the TLS certificates for the TLS encrypted communication or connection. Whoopee! Okay. Yeah, that all looks great. So I guess I'm going to save this. And then we'll do system control daemon reload. That should give us an ergo.container unit. It's ergo service directly. Yep, it's loaded but not started. So I guess we'll go and enable it. And with the now option, we can tell system control to also start it right away. Ooh. I can't be enabled because that's implicit, but we can start it. Okay. Let's take a look at the status. However, status will show a little bit of the log, and that apparently contains my operator password, so I'll hide that. System control status ergo. It tried to start, but it failed, and that is why. Let me try and get logs. Podman logs ergo. No such container. It's not running anymore. Journal control. Unit ergo. Oh yes, there's a lot of stuff. It tried to... We didn't create the volume directory, so let me create that. I know, well, I can actually reveal that. So yeah, up here it says statfs serve ergo data, no such file or directory. Of course, so let's do that. Serve ergo data. Let's create that. Let's try another system control start ergo, bada bing, and let's take another look at the status. It is running. Says database does not exist, creating it, listening on 6667 and 6697. Your server is configured with public plain text listener on 6667. Consider disabling it for improved security and privacy. That makes sense to do that. It even created its own self-signed certificate. So 6697 already works, but it's of course not an official certificate. Balthazar joining us. Hello, how you doing? What I can't see in the status at the moment, and so I can show you that, is the admin password. Maybe that came later, maybe that came before. I'll have to take a look at the logs, but the server is running. There's just no way to log in yet, not even for you if you are sneaky. So let me take a look at the logs in the hopes of finding the admin password there. Otherwise, I'll have to reset the password myself. But yeah, I have a journal control command ready. Oh yeah, here we go. So I'll actually copy that to the clipboard, and I'll also copy it to my password manager. New item. It's a login for IRC dot. And did I copy that correctly? Yes, I did. So that is saved. Okay, what do we do next? Ergo is basically running, so let's go back to Adam's tutorial. He set up a Caddy. That's for the web-based interface. you'll need to choose a network name for your IRC server. Only Element dropping by asking, hey, you still use Bluefin? I do. And not only do I use Bluefin, I'm actually even running my VPS here with Fedora as well, just to get a feeling for how well it's suited as a server operating system as well. So far I've been, I really liked it. Since we are only running Podman containers on this VPS, by now I would probably switch to Fedora CoreOS, because that's built specifically for running containers. And I have actually created a rudimentary Ansible-based deployment mechanism for running containers on CoreOS, but I haven't really tried it out yet. Bethesda says, using a rolling release on a server, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out. I think that's exactly why I'm so interested in it, because it'll update in the background, and CoreOS, I think by default, will even reboot and activate the new release automatically. I'm pretty sure I can disable that reboot, but having upgrades run in the background and then being able to reboot is even better than what I've set up on this VPS earlier, which is the DNF5 automated upgrades, because those upgrades will run in the background. However, if something goes severely wrong during these upgrades, and I reboot, and then I realize everything is broken and the kernel is missing or something, so the machine doesn't even come back up anymore, then I have a problem that's going to be a challenge to resolve. And having something like CoreOS, where I can, if I want to, boot into the previously running version of the operating system, because that stays preserved for a while, is actually something that I've always been very grateful for here with Bluefin, especially since I'm running a machine with an NVIDIA card in there for streaming and for gaming, and for DaVinci Resolve. And those NVIDIA drivers weren't always stable. They have been for months now, knocking on wood here, but for a while they weren't, and rebooting, realizing that my games don't work anymore, and then simply booting back into the previously working system and being able to launch my games again has always been a great experience. And having that on a server, why not? Bethesda says, that said, a little ISP, I was a junior sysadmin for 2 decades ago. Aren't we all getting older? Well, it's my 56th birthday today, so I definitely know what you mean. Ran Gentoo on the vast majority of our systems. Gentoo, that is also an interesting move. Having to recompile your stuff just to get production services upgraded. I've never used Gentoo, actually. Now, let's see, the network name. I guess it's time to switch to into our data volume. And yes, here's the stuff. Here's also the a TLS certificate that Ergo created automatically, and there's the ircd.yaml file, which is the configuration file. So I guess we will be able to change the network name in there. Let me check if there's something sensitive in that ircd YAML. Oof, that's a lot of stuff. So yeah, network is ergo test. That's probably not going to be the name I'll keep. And there is the 6667 listener that I'm going to eventually get rid of. Let me scroll through this to see. I don't think the password is in there. That's in the database probably. So let's see. I don't think there's anything sensitive in here. It's a long configuration file. So let's see. Let's search for secret. Oh yes, there is an OAuth 2 client secret that I probably shouldn't reveal. That's the only secrets in there though. Okay, so yeah, let's not scroll around too much so I don't dox my IRC server, but other than that, it's going to run good. Well, Bethesda says, I haven't touched it, i.e. Gentoo Linux, seriously in a long time, but we were really big about trying to squeeze extra performance out of our systems with compile optimization flags. And we also had some in-house e-builds we used to build our mail infrastructure. I can see that because, of course, I, as everyone else back in the day, did compile my kernels myself as well, enabling the hardware that I had and disabling hardware that or drivers for hardware that I didn't have. I just never got why you would like to also compile all the application software, not only the kernel. Yeah, knowing how long those compile runs took on the hardware of yesteryear, that never felt enticing to me. Bethesda found that the Ergo team is the one who supports IRC-Go. Ah, okay, so that is becoming foundational for the Go-based IRC ecosystem. I see. Okay, so the network is of course going to be called Monospace Mentor. The server is going to be irc.monospacementor.com. And for the time being, we'll listen on 6667 and 6697, where we have the certificates in place, the self-signed for the time being. Okay, I guess that's that. Let's see what else Adam recommends changing. Going to set the IRC operator password. We've already let Ergo do that. Ooh, and then that's also an interesting choice. What Adam did here is basically using YQ, which does edits to YAML files, to completely circumnavigate having the user to use an editor. So this whole tutorial actually gets by with not using an editor at all. He'll simply copy the default configuration into the future production configuration, and then using YQ commands to replace all kinds of stuff. So that is really interesting. I don't think I'd ever have thought of something like that. I'd probably simply have had the user use nano, but making it completely command-based is definitely an interesting move for writing a tutorial. But that makes it a little bit harder for me to see what is actually happening here. So he set the network name, which I already did using Vim. Then host name, that is already changed too. He sets the certificate paths to where Caddy auto renews its Let's Encrypt certificates. We'll have to build that ourselves using certbot or something. Then listener, yeah, that's the key, and the WebSocket listener is enabled too. I think that is for the web-based IRC interface. So I'll have to take a look if that is enabled. 8067. Oh, it's not even in here. How about WebSocket? Oh, it's here. Yeah, okay. So it'll use the same certificate. I agree, Balthasar. It's not good for learning a system. This tutorial is definitely very much aimed at getting something running without much fuss. Naloth joining us and asking, what is this Windows 92? Windows 92. I'll never use something as modern as that. That's CDE, my friend. Okay, so what else? We'll have languages path. I don't... it sets it to home user ergo languages. Pretty sure I don't have to set that. But let's see, languages. Whether to load languages, yeah, that's enabled. English by default, and the path is rcd bin languages. That's part of the container. I don't think I'll have to worry about that. And then, interestingly, there's Opera's admin password. So there is a password in there. Oh, is it in there? Let me take a look. I only searched for secret, but not for password. So let's see. There's an commented hashed password. There's a web IRC password, also hashed. And I wonder. Oh yeah, that's a demo password. It's 123 ABC. Okay. So I'll have to set that if I want to run web IRC. Then there's Opera. Lots of password settings. Maybe I should have run grep. Oh, here's the admin user. And yes, there is the hashed operator password in there. So it's not part of the database, it's in the configuration file. That's good to know. Okay, since we already copied the auto-generated password. I don't have to make any changes to that now. The Ergo service is already created because it's the Quadlet service. And that means we can simply go and restart the container. I just remembered that I will have to also expose the WebSocket port, which is 8067. So let's see, containers systemd Ergo. We'll expose 8067 as well. So we'll do system control daemon reload, system control restart Ergo, system control status Ergo is active and running, and it's listening on all the ports. Nice. Now, next in the tutorial is actually installing Gamja, a simple web client. That's definitely something that we'll do as well. But I think I should see and test the server. And I guess the server will already work in terms of registration and stuff, which is going to be interesting. So I think I'm going to simply install WeChat here on this server, because I can start then with a new client instead of using my own one. Yeah, I guess for testing purposes that works. So we'll do an DNF install WeChat. Is already installed. Yes, because I'm already running WeChat in my own user account, because that's my IRC client actually. Because yeah, instead of running an IRC bouncer to have scrollback and these things, I'm simply running WeChat from the terminal in a tmux session on this very server, and to use it from my workstation, I simply SSH into this VPS and use it from there. So I guess I'll do the opposite, and I'll try WeChat from my workstation. Interesting. So I don't want to confuse stuff. If I start it from my workstation, will it also try and connect to all the servers? I guess it will. Bethesda says, "Bah, get on the Soju and Gamja and Gaguma train." Nope. WeChat it is. Maybe once... I'm not sure if WeChat actually does IRC-v3. If that works, I'll consider switching things around. But Ergo, for example, already supports IRC-v3, so scrollback will actually be possible on that. Or chat history. That's what I mean. Okay, let's try WeChat. It did not auto-connect to anything. That's good. So I disabled that in the past. Well done, past me. It does indeed support many IRC-v3 features. That's nice. So let's try and connect IRC. No, is it server add? Yeah, it's server add. TSR. irc.monospacementor.com 6697 should work. It'll complain about the self-signed certificate. We'll fix that later. Wow, I hit the syntax from the get-go. Interesting. TLS enabled, yep. So let's connect to TSR. Oh, I didn't find the host. That's strange because I set the hostname a while ago. Yeah, that does work. Address, IRC. Maybe I actually overlooked something. Does it need a... Yeah, it's not DNS. I think... am I missing a schema? Does it need a schema here? WeChat... server add. Oh, it's the port. Yeah, that could be that could be it too. So let's see. Add an IRC server. Oh, it's slash. Okay. So we'll server. What am I going to do? Is it a setting? Yeah, I guess it's simply set irc.server, and it's actually, let's do /set irc server tsr, and then we'll be able to edit this like this, and let's do another connect tsr. Yeah, that was expected. The TLS handshake failed, but I'm pretty sure that I can disable TLS verification or validation. Yep, we'll simply switch this to off. And it connected as GWIS. Okay. But that means it actually works. Bethesda says, I do like WeChat's config interface. Yeah, it's really nice. Who does Noble is joining us? Tried Matrix lately as a replacement for Discord. Interesting. I don't like Matrix. I don't think it's architected well with its end-to-end encryption and all the issues it has. So I'm going to rely on IRC. It's battle tested and works. And end-to-end encryption isn't an issue for our community. So, of course, IRC won't support that in any way. So Matrix is definitely better than IRC when it comes to end-to-end encryption. But I think I'm going to have a better time administering an IRC server. Fullersnabel asks, will you invite me to your IRC? Yes, I will. I will invite everyone. It's going to be our community chat for the server room. And if you're not familiar with the server room, it's my DevOps community of practice. Go to theserverroom.sh to learn more. So, now, how do I log in as admin now? I only want to log in once. Or I could create my account here. Since I'm already logged in as GUS, and that's going to be my username anyway. Any help here? I guess let's simply use /help. What's possible? Let's see. Auth, I guess, is definitely something. Let's try auth. Help auth. Yeah, /help auth. Auth, username, password, authenticate with SASL. Password. That's to authenticate once I have an account, but how do I get an account? Since Ergo is IRC v3, I don't think we'll have to mess around with Nixserv and stuff, do we? Fudas says Discord plus Palantir doesn't seem so attractive to me. Nope. To me neither. And since they just IPO'd, they'll definitely have to drive revenue. And you know what that means. And shittification. I'm actually used to a little bit of hand-holding by the server. Let me see. When we connected, did it say something? Error on a certificate, then it did trust it. Hostname does not match, but since I disabled all safety features, it did connect. Welcome to the Monospace Mentor IRC network. That sounds fancy. No, it doesn't tell me anything. Bethesda asked, do you have a Nixserv? I'm not sure if I have. I thought maybe it's actually more modern than that. Nixserv itself, yeah, you mean message Nixserv, right? Ooh, yeah, I do. Okay, I guess that answers the question. I can identify, I can use password, I can register my user account for first of all. So message Nixserv register. Do I? Yeah, and then I register my password. So let me create a new password entry in my password manager. I guess that's going to be a new login item for this on IRC monospacementor.com. Yeah, logged in as GWiz. Nice. Now I just have to log in as admin and give GWiz op status, and then we can get going, which means the server does work and is almost open for business, but we'll have to get the TLS certificate sorted, and I guess we can already disable the plaintext access. So let's go back to our server and see how easy it is to switch terminals when you use something like tmux. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the listener settings. Does not really make sense for us to even listen on 6667. And I'll also change the container definition. We won't have to publish 6667 anymore. And once I restart, I guess we could do that right away. System control, daemon reload, and then system control, restart, go. You know what? Let me first set up my password here. So I guess we can use the SASL authentication. So let's do that. Set IRC server TSR SASL username GWiz, and we'll create a secret /secure TSR password. Wait, I want to use the same schema that I used for the other service, so I'll block you out for a minute. It looks like someone's messaging you on your new IRC server? Yes. You've been fast. Dear me. This is fun. This is fun. So let me quickly check how I named my other password fields. Do I secure list? No, there's no secure list. So let me do help secure. I can secure set. Oh, I can only set and delete. I can't even change those names. Use password. Sec data. Okay, so let me see. Set IRC server Libera. And where's my SASL password? It's empty. Nix is username. No, didn't want to do that. Is there a way to reset a setting to default? Yes, it's Alt-R. Doesn't work though. Alt-F, Alt-R? Ah, yes. FR. Okay, interesting. So, again, what am I doing? Bethesda says, I had to tell Soju to trust your server via certfp because it refuses to blindly join RCS servers without a trusted cert, but yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, that's a absolute reasonable default. And we'll fix the certificate issue, of course. So, I'm actually using relay password here because I was using it as a relay client. So it's basically just something password. Okay. Okay, so I will save that as /secure set TSR password and then my password. Options saved. And now I can use that. And I think I can reveal that again now. So I can do set IRC server TSR. And for my SASL password, I can now use sec data TSR password because that's stored in the encrypted password store of WeChat. So we have SASL username and SASL password. Let's find out if this works. Disconnect. And connect TSR. Oh, disconnect TSR. Disconnected. Connect. Da 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 da. Did it use SASL? I don't think it did. Well, on the other hand, nope, doesn't look like I'm logged in properly. Do I have to... enable SASL in my client? Use it for authentication. You will be identified before you join channels. So how about we try and join a channel? Looks like we're in. Yeah. Okay. Well, since I have you here, Balthazar, can you join the general channel? And let's see if this works. We'll both be peasants on this server because I haven't yet logged into the admin channel, admin user yet. But for a test, it'll be all right. Yeah, here we go. Super. We are in business. So auto login does work, and that means we can now go back to system administration. Let's go back to the tutorial. So Gamja, is there a Docker image for Gamja? Oh, I wanted to restart Argo to see if the to get rid of the plaintext channel or plaintext port. So we'll get disconnected for a second. Disconnected. I don't have auto connect in there. Oh, it's I do. Okay, reconnecting the server, and here we go. And we're back. Yep. Gamja is made by Amazon, the same person who makes Soju. Yeah, it's a small world. Now, I'm not going to install Gamja using npm if I can avoid it. Let's see, Codeberg emergent gamja.git. Is that the URL that I can use in the browser too? Yes, I can. Simple IRC web client. Really? No? Do I have to run npm? I would really appreciate a Docker image. Let's see if we can find one. Gamja IRC Docker image. Gamja Caddy and Docker. That's a similar tutorial, I guess. Enrique Diaz. Caddy Docker file. Building Gamja. That's npm. No. So this is Soju Caddy, and then I guess Gamja runs where? Gamja does not provide already built files. Building them is quite easy. Just static HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And so we can serve that statically. So building a Docker file for that shouldn't be too much of a problem, he says. Soju containers? Let's take a look. Thanks, Balthazar. Codeberg.org immersion Soju container. I guess if it's just a static website with JavaScript, yeah, there's Gamja on port 80. Gamja will connect to Gamja backend socket. Does that have to be the WebSockets interface of my IRC server? I guess. So we'll run another container for Gamja. But we'll have to find out how to connect it right. What does Adam do He simply deploys it. No, there is a server setting here. Server setting is hostname web IRC. And does the WebSocket, the secure WebSocket interface, automatically use 8067? Gamja connects via the browser. Not sure. There is a config JSON, and he actually sets. Yeah, that's pointing at the hostname /web IRC. Is that HTTPS then? No, WebSockets is its own protocol, right? So I'm confused. I'm not familiar with WebSockets enough. And then auto join. Okay, so I can make it auto join general, so people who sign in can automatically join the chat. Okay, that's nice. Let's find out how to deal with this. HTTP 2, okay. Gamja latest. By mounting Gamja config JSON. Okay, okay. Yeah, I should read stuff to the end. We'll be able to work this. Okay, so let's go into etc container systemd and we'll copy Ergo container to Gamja container. We could run both as a pod if I wanted to have a fancy Kubernetes manifest, but yeah. Hungry Yellow joining us. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the stack. So, Gamja. Container name is going to be Gamja. Image is, I guess, oops, this. We'll have a volume serve Gamja. Gamja config.json to /gamja config.json. Yeah, definitely Balthazar. All the pre-built container does for you is remove the need for you to install Node, which, to be honest, is a worthwhile endeavor. Yeah. I mean, I'm not running Docker for all the stuff on this VPS to then install Node and pollute my directories with that. We don't have to publish any ports, I don't think. We'll just have to create the configuration directory and file. Or at least the file. Yeah, I guess. Let's try and create the directory only. I'm not sure if the container is going to create the file for us. We'll see. Restart always. Okay. Let's create the directory serve Gamja. System control daemon reload. System control start Gamja. System control status Gamja. Failed to start. Pretty sure it's because of the volume. Yeah, the file does have to exist, I guess. Touch serve. Yeah, if I can't mount a file if the file doesn't exist, so that's going to kill the kill the container quite quickly. Serve gamja -config.json. Let's try another start. And now it's active. It says HTTP server listening. Yeah, I guess we'll have to expose port 80. No, we don't. The way I've set things up, I can actually proxy that through Nginx Proxy Manager. Yeah, without having to expose it, I think. I guess for that purpose, I don't need something as robust as Nginx. So Gamja does run. Let's take a look at serve Gamja. Did it write the file? No, it did not. Okay. So what is supposed to be in there? We'll actually run this command. Just not serve gamja config JSON. So I guess we'll use IRC here. Auto join general. System control restart Gamja. Did that work? That did not break, at least. Okay. I'll take it. So, I'm still unsure about that WebSockets port. Because that's 8097. It's definitely not. 8097 sounds like a mix of the 80 from HTTP and the 97 from IRC. So that is very specific, I think. Yeah, you're right. I see. It uses SSL by default, which means once we expose what? Do I have to enable something like web here in Ergo? Because how strange. I'm really confused. WebSockets, allowed origins. That might make sense since we are going to allow only Gamja. Do I have to tell Gamja to connect to 8097 then? We did not. Adam set 8067. Let's find out. IRC WSS port. That's Unreal IRCD. Never heard of it, but here, WebSocket. It seems to be completely arbitrary. They use 8000 here. There's some kind of a disconnect. But shouldn't the Gamja configuration tell us something about that? So let's take a look at Gamja IRC client. Requires an IRC WebSocket server. We do have that. Configuration file and via URL parameters. Nope, let's just use the configuration file. We'll tell it the URL, so we can actually give it a port number, but apparently that's not necessary. I think we'll have to add the port number. WebSockets, IRC. We could even try localhost, but let's keep the IRC in host name, and we'll add the port number. That makes the most sense to me. Okay, so that's 1897. Let's maybe also look at we'll need the let's encrypt manual entry eventually, but first let's find out about the web IRC. There was mention of web IRC in here, right? Yeah. But that's that's the web IRC command. That's different. One person building the bouncer, the client, and the web server. Immersion doesn't mess around. Nope. Some people are just prolific enough to make everybody else feel inadequate. So, Bethesda says WS should use 4.3 by default. Okay. Oh, you're right. That's something we could actually look. I think that's where I probably missed out because I ignored the caddy configuration that Adam set up. So let's see. Yeah, there's the /web IRC, and that reverse proxies to 8067, which he set up there, and that means we'll have to just add a path definition in Nginx Proxy Manager to proxy web IRC to the WebSocket port, and that'll do the trick. Yeah, so that's going to happen where? Wait. I'm still trying to piece the puzzle together. What Adam does here is he probably creates a listener block for the host name. And yeah, okay, so yeah, I think I'm getting it. Gamja is a web server, so I'll have to have a proxy entry for IRC, and I'll send that, proxy that to port 80 of the Gamja container, and make an exception for /webIRC, where that proxies to the Ergo container and its port 8067. Okay, yeah, we can do that. But for it to be available on localhost, I think we'll have to publish that port too. 8067, yeah, let's I think no, the 8097 was in the configuration already, so we'll use the 8097. That's fine. Okay, so the thing that was throwing me for a bit was that basically Gamja is going to talk to itself on irc.monospacementor.com, and when it tries to connect to /webIRC, but the proxy then takes care of that and forwards everything to the WebSocket port on the Ergo container. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I think we'll have to publish that port, right? Let's see. Containers. Systemd for the Geho, for Jeho. Yeah. Okay, so we'll publish 8002 to 80. We already published those ports. And we'll actually talk to ourselves which is only going to work if I put a proxy statement in place to divert that to Ergo. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now, to do exactly that, let's go here. And that's going to go to localhost port 8002. Access list, no, that's fine. We'll get, let's encrypt. Interesting, Bethesda. I'm in the process of sunsetting Portainer for CapRover. Haven't seen CapRover yet. Dogploy, CapRover, so many different container platforms. Yeah, I'm definitely going to leave Portainer as well. There's an option for WebSocket support. Is there? Let me check that. IRC. Edit, WebSocket support. But what does it do, though? There still needs to be some wiring in there, right? I mean, we can try and simply go there. That should connect us to Gamja at least. Oh, see, that doesn't work yet. Because I think the port is not exposed yet, so system control restart Gamja. Okay, let's do that, and then that, and then that. Yeah, here we go. Auto join channel general, so it did read its configuration. Yeah, I'll need something more, but I think, did I have to do that for Jeho? Custom locations? No, I think I have a private personal container where I needed WebSockets as well. I think I might be able to steal that from there. Give me just a second to check my personal Nginx proxy manager. But we could try and log in. It might work. So let me disconnect here. Okay, so I should be logged out there, and if I add that to here, oh, didn't we use HTTPS? That should be HTTPS. And then I can do this. Remember me. Okay, yeah, so the WebSocket thingy needs to be there. Okay. So, yeah, I'll be right back when I checked my own Nginx proxy manager on my home lab. Who was that? Merkin! Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stack. That's too many screens, too many windows. Nginx Proxy Manager. I do not remember which one I did set up. I guess I'll have to try them out. At some point I have to set up a custom location, and I hope it's still around. Nope. It might actually be on this server. Oh, was it for... Was it for image? No, I don't think so. Now I've tried almost all of them. Ah, none of them. How absolutely disappointing. Well, we can't find out the syntax by searching. I thought I would be able to. Very strange. I do remember having to set up a custom location. You're right. I have no idea why. Oh, I think I hit two buttons at the same time. When I pressed the secret button that hides my screen, I also hit the mute button without noticing. I'm sorry about that. Nothing important happened. I just had a little bit of a mismatch in port numbers. 8067 is now exposed on localhost. I should check if that's... Yeah, we need to fix this here too.
I know this.
Electron, welcome to the stack. Thanks for the follow. I'm Jochen, the Monospace Mentor. I do DevOps stuff day and night. My day job is CTO of a small managed hosting company. And on the side, I work as the Monospace Mentor, teaching people how to do proper system administration and software engineering. You can find more on monospacementor.com. Dark Bashkara asks, hey, what on-screen emote overlay are you using? That's something I built myself. The emote thingy that lets the emotes go around is actually from what it's called, Social Stream Ninja. It's an application that also does my whole chat integration. It's an application that I'm running here locally. Now, we changed the proxying of a web IRC to localhost. Let's use the numerical address here too, even though that will talk to the container's localhost and not my machine itself, will it? I'm not so sure if this is going to work, but we can try. Oh, still connection error. Yep. Good old Steve. Oh, nice. For your production work. How do I debug that? Connection error. Gamja. Oh, the Gamja configuration. I forgot about that. Doesn't have to be changed, other than it's not secure web services anymore. Maybe that does the trick. How did... Now that I'm deviating so much from Adam's description here, I'm getting into the weeds of things. So he used 8067. Without any certs. Okay, yeah. And he had caddy proxy to localhost 8067 for the web IRC path. And Gamja. It's WSS. Okay. Even though it's... Yeah, because it's getting proxied. All these abstraction layers are really doing my head in today. We can, of course, talk secure WebSockets to Nginx Proxy Manager, which will then do /WebIRC in plain text to the 8067 port. So we'll do a restart. System control, restart Gamja. And let me reload this. Okay. Let me fill this out. Still connection error. That might be the case because localhost might actually require me to make this public not on 127. You know what? We can simply, yeah. Let's do this differently. Container system D. We're talking about Ergo here. Let's try it this way. Might not be optimal, but we can always improve that. Oh, connecting. Connection error. That's what I'm not sure about, Balthazar. He says you shouldn't need to make that bind to all interfaces. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about the localhost interface between container internal networking and the host networking. It's still, Gamja tries to reconnect, but fails. Dark Bashkara says happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, it's my birthday today. Hey Willie, how you doing? Willie says the classic guide assumes Caddy, you are running Nginx detour. Yes. And the guide assumes local installation and I'm running in containers. So yeah, that's what I'm juggling at the moment, trying to translate one thing into the other and finding out where I did overlook something. We'll get it. We'll get there. Now, let's just try and see if there's anything we can see. So the IRC server does work. Balthazar reconnected. Okay. That's that. What happens if I try and connect myself? So that's Gamja. And if I do web IRC, I get bad gateway. Balthazar asks, do you have a route in NPM that is proxying localhost 8067 to wait, what? No. Yeah, let's go back to Nginx Proxy Manager here. So, what we are doing is we'll take care of IRC monospacementor.com. By default, we go to localhost 8002, which seems to, yeah, that's the usual thing where we actually forward to the exposed port of Gamja in this case. 8002 is the port that I bound Gamja to. I can show you that. That's etc container systemd gamja. And here we publish its port 80 to localhost port 8002. So that's why we can talk to gamja. And then we have a custom location /web IRC, where we'll have to port HTTP localhost 8067. I did HTTPS, which can never work because we don't have any certificate behind that anymore. So I think that might actually have been the issue. Let's see. That's so I think this is the easy mode for custom locations, where you can simply enter these details, and then there's a custom mode where you can actually enter Nginx configuration syntax. But I don't think we need that. This might actually work now because we were using the wrong protocol here. Now I'm getting bad request, which might simply be because I can't talk WebSocket. And here we go. That's that. Yeah, Willie, you're absolutely right. Talking SSL to a plaintext endpoint will never work. That's just gibberish. Okay. Why do I have monospace mentor and general twice now? Do we know that? We don't, I guess. But it works. It works. Font is absolutely tiny, but that's that. So, let's do an experiment. Let's reload this and log in again. Remember me? Yep, that works. And now I have monospace mentor general only once. That fixed that. And I wanted to try the localhost binding. So what happens if I bind it to localhost only? Still seems to work. That way we are not exposed plain text to the internet. Right. Let's get that curl back. That should use the external interface and should... no. 8067, I need to connect directly. Using HTTP. It is exposed. Okay. Why is that? I can't explain why it's still exposed. That's strange. That should only be bound to... Well, maybe it's because I did a restart. Let's do system control stop, ergo. Now this should definitely fail. Okay, let's do a start, ergo. Maybe it's the routing? Let's try it from the outside. Yeah. Okay. Does that mean we have a working IRC server for the server room? I think it does. I still need to give myself operator permission so I can kick you out for your shenanigans, but hopefully there won't be any shenanigans. And yeah, I feel a little bit like the dog that actually caught the ambulance. Let me think this through. Gamja is running, so people who don't want to set up IRC clients can use web. Can I create an account using Gamja? I think that's what created Web Balthasar, right? I'm pretty sure you created that on the Gamja website yourself. And everyone who wants to do things a little bit more in a more sophisticated way can use an IRC client. It's unauthenticated. Oh, that is not great. Is that so? Okay, so let's disconnect. Password is optional, okay. Okay. I'm not auto-joined to general. Why didn't that work? Okay. Dark Pascal said they should be able to use commands through the chat to authenticate. Yeah. True. And yes, I guess that's the only way it can work. Right? I mean, I had to log in on authenticatedly as Jeeves first too to set up my password and stuff. So I can of course do nixserv register or nixserv help, I guess. No. Yes. Okay, that's in the server tab here. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's an IRC client. Period. Works just as intended. I'm actually not familiar with web-based clients. That's why I seem to be that confused at the moment. Just seeing the Ko-fi notification, yes, you can throw a little bit of money my way using Ko-fi if you just want to do a one-off. And the best way to support me is actually to do something great for yourself, and that is join the server room, for which I just set up a fully managed IRC server, because that's what we're going to use in the future instead of Discord. And we also have a discourse forum where we do most of our conversations, because it's keeps the stuff permanently. And if you want to find out what is part of being a member of the server room, which is a membership community where you have a paid membership, there are different plans available. You can find out what these plans entail over at theserverroom.sh or on monospacementor.com and clicking on community. Now, let's leave as GVIS2. Coco Pistolaire says, from Discord to IRC, what a world. Yeah, we're doing it old school again. Having control over my community platforms is really important to me because eventually I want to make this my day job. Being able to teach people about Linux system administration, about software engineering, about DevOps and SRE is a dream. And I hope I'll be able to realize that dream eventually. And then I don't want to be dependent on some VC-based company that does all kinds of things. And that's why I've been running an IRC channel already on LiberaChat, which is bridged to our Discord server. Just to try IRC out, and I actually do enjoy using IRC more than using Discord. And quite a few people of our community have actually switched to actively using the IRC channel, but it's just one channel. I don't want to occupy LiberaChat with multiple channels, but I'd like to have multiple channels, like an announcement channel that only has announcements and things like that. So yeah, that's why I decided, yeah, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun, set up our own IRC server, and mission accomplished, I guess. So, let me clean up stuff here. I will have to log in as admin. I could do that via Gamja, actually. Right? Let's try this. Admin. Password. Do not remember me. Connect. Account does not exist. That account should exist. What did I do wrong? Let's use the account does not exist. Pretty sure it created that. Now. Since I'm not sharing my screen, I can easily scan the Ergo configuration. Server admin. That's roles. And here we have oppers admin. Oh, that's an opper. So I need to do /opper admin and the password. And then I can give GVIS operator. Okay, that's confusing. Let's share my screen again so you know what I'm talking about. Let's see. What Adam writes here is, yeah, do /opper admin your password. Then I can rehash configuration. Setting a message of the day. I can edit that. So that's actually not a separate account. Huh. All right. That's a role, right? I'll just assume admin, an admin role. So that will work. As my GUIS user. That's nice. So no additional user there. Okay, so let me... make a note in my password manager. I'll lock you out for a second. And Dagmar, thanks for the good work. That's very kind of you. So still working in Gamja here. Let me clear these fields. Log in as GUIS. There we go. And if I do oper admin password, that did not work. It says there isn't a command /oper. Wait. Maybe I'll have to reload Gamja. Am I logged in? /help oper. Op on a channel. I think that's not the same, right? I think that might not work using Gamja, but how about /help op? It just says op nick. Yeah, that's the command to make someone an op. Is that something I have to do using a full IRC client? Because the /oper definitely does not work. Let me take another look at the IRCD configuration. Oper's admin is hidden. Can be authenticated either by password with the oper command or by certificate fingerprint. That does not work via Gamja. So maybe I have to log in with WeChat. Let's give that a try. I'll leave on Gamja And let's go into WeChat. Let's connect to TSR. So 0 IRC operators online. Let's see if we can change that. Yeah, WeChat tells me /opera user password does work. So it's a limitation of Gamja, I guess. Now, Opera, admin, budding. You are now an IRC operator. Cool stuff. So it does work. I just have to use WeChat. And let's do a join general again. And here we are back. Cool. I think we are in business. Doug Bashkar says, all hail the operator. I am the sysop again. I was a sysop back in the 90s when I ran my own BBS. Because of course I did. And that's that. We have an IRC server. And look, no, I was about to say, look at that. There's the chat history, but it might not be, right? Not sure if WeChat will automatically use IRC v3 features to get chat history, but we can try that. So let me log out. I'll actually go and quit. Bethesda, if you would be so kind and simply say something in the channel so I can see if WeChat is going to fetch that automatically or if there is some work I need to do there. Just let me know once you've posted something. Okay, yeah. This was a triumph. Things are running. Do I need to do some kind of extra backup? No, there are no data files, just configurations, and they'll get backed up with the server. So, yep, we are done. We have an IRC server. We'll need to document that. Every one of you who'd like to join us there is more than welcome, and on irc.monospacementor.com. Oh, the certificate. Almost forgot about it. We'll have to get the certificate right, but looking at the clock, it's getting pretty late, and I think there are a few people who'd like to celebrate with me. So I'll do the certificate thing behind the scenes, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, so you don't have to ignore SSL warnings. I'll make a note to get that fixed. In my notebook, I am working with a completely paper-based task management workflow now. IRC. Let's encrypt. Maybe I can cheat and simply point Ergo at the volume where Nginx Proxy Manager stores its certificates. Not sure if I should do that, but it's an idea. Let's see if Bethesda was able to post something. Not sure if he's still around. I should really set up an auto join here? No. Might not work out of the box. But that's not too bad. I mean, I have a clear distinction, and Bethesda actually alluded to that in a recent post on our forum, where I say chat is supposed to be ephemeral, which is why I don't think it's a good idea to use Discord as the central part of a community, because it's so hard to find stuff. So I'm not too fussed about the IRC server not having a backlog at the moment, because everything that is supposed to be persistent should be posted to the forum and not to the chat. So I regard chat as being something more of a real-time thing, and if you're not there, you're not there. You shouldn't miss anything, because I will ask our community members if there is something where they have something that they'd like to share, a great website, a good tutorial or something like that. I'll ask them to post that to the forum where it stays documented, and so we don't have to worry about missing stuff. Ptolemy says backlog means bouncer. Backlog basically means not having to have a bouncer anymore, because IRC version 3, the new version of the protocol, actually has something built in where you can catch up on chats without having to run your own bouncer. That's why I haven't set up one today either. Because, yeah, the Ergo IRC server that I set up has IRC v3 support, and yeah, I hope to use this feature instead of having to set up a bouncer for our community. I wouldn't mind setting one up, but if I can go without it, thanks to IRC v3, then I'd be happy with that. Dark Mascara and Willie say npm, so the Nginx proxy manager stream proxy could handle that too. That's of course also possible. Shall we have a look? So there are streams. Okay. So I could use internal port mappings. Oh, okay. And I could reuse the IRC monospace mentor.com. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, right? It's just TCP streaming. Yeah, that solves everything. So we just have to switch ports on the Ergo container. And that's that. Yeah, we will do that. I forgot to share. Here we are. Folks, you are brilliant. It's so good to have you around. Yeah, we'll use that and have Nginx proxy manager take care of everything. I love this. So, let's go back here and let's edit the container. We'll simply bind that to localhost. That should work, right? Let's give it a try. Containers, systemd, Ergo. So we'll do this. Not sure if I want to do this. And then we can actually do it plain text. Since we are proxying. And just a second. Oh, no, It's the wrong file. Vim IRCD YAML. Okay, and now we'll actually do a listener on 66, 67. Right. And that should do it. It'll complain about plain text, but we'll take care of that. Let's see if the localhost and public interface things will conflict. I'm not sure about that. I guess it... And I have to map the port for Nginx Proxy Manager as well. So, yeah, we'll work with different ports, I guess. So we'll have to do etc containers, systemd, nginx pm. Oh, that's actually a Kubernetes manifest, where we'll have to do the YAML one. And wait, what? Oh, Nginx PM has complete access to the host network, so there isn't even a port mapping. Okay, nice. Foxmate, hello! Welcome. So we can give this a try. Sam Linux says, I'm back. How's the IRC thing going? It's going great. Everything has been working. I almost forgot to tackle the TLS certificate issue, though. And my lovely viewers suggested simply using Nginx Proxy Manager to take care of that certificate situation as well, simply by using its stream support. So I can do 6697. Forward that to, I guess, localhost and port 6667. We'll try it. Not sure if it works. And for SSL, we'll use the irc.monospacementor.com one, because that's going to be the host name we're talking to. And now I should be able to restart Ergo. So we'll do a daemon reload and system control restart Ergo. And let's see if we can reconnect. Connect TSR. Connection refused. That might be because the port situation. So Foxpit says IRC sounds interesting. Finally, terminal chat again. Yep, I'm switching my community chat to my own IRC server, which I've set up during this stream. So I guess we'll do a forward to port 16, 667, which is of course not going to work for now. We'll first have to... yes, it's because of Discord, exactly. Wait. Where's... yeah, we need to map...
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Wait, that's the wrong one. We'll map localhost 16667 to the container port 6667, which should work. So another daemon reload, another restart ergo. Let's circumvent this, and we're back. Foxbit says, I love your retro style KDE. Someone did recognize it. Yes, it is actually KDE, and it's a theme that emulates the classic CDE desktop from old Unix workstations, which I love. That was my first encounter with Unix back when I studied computer science on HP workstations. So I am logged in, and now we are using a proper TSR certificate, which means I can no, it's irc.server.tsr. I can switch on TLS verification again. So that's Alt F, Alt R. It's on. That should do that. Now let's do disconnect TSR. And let's do connect TSR. And it works. Now we are cooking. Dark Bashkar says sun purple. Exactly. Look at, yeah, I even have the sun background here. It's the old motif look. DevOps friends, this was absolutely great. Lots of fun, as behooves a day that is my birthday. We have our own chat server, of which I am now in full control. I'll change the documentation in our TSR forum, and I'll have to add my own server to my actual WeChat that I'm using on a daily basis. So, yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely great. Thanks for the tip with the stream manager. That was a quick one. And this was great fun. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting. It's been a lot of fun, regardless of where you're connected. It's great to see that people have joined from different systems and platforms. I will be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. UTC with my next session in my livestream course, Basic Linux System Administration. I'm doing this course as a cohort-based, instructor-led course for members of the server room. And I'm also doing it on my live stream here, chapter by chapter, week by week, which will take months. So if you are a little bit more impatient and want to learn quickly, I can recommend joining the next cohort. Or the current one, if you'd like to catch up quickly, but that will require lots of time, I guess. So if you'd like, that's actually going to be tomorrow. Thursday is tomorrow, right? And so, yeah. This was lots of fun. I keep repeating myself, but I'm really, really happy right now. And yeah, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. If not, next time when I go online. So don't forget to follow or subscribe to the stream, depending on where you're at. And until next time, take care.